On this edition of StormWatch, Baseball America rates this Storm outfielder as one of the best pure hitters in minor league baseball, and they might be right. Jeff Decker continues to swing it well in the low minor leagues. Storm closer Brad Brock is about to become the Cal League's all-time single-season saves leader. We'll get his thoughts on the accomplishment. What's it really like to be on a Cal League road trip? We'll show you as our cameras hop aboard the Storm's motor coach for a quick ride north. Plus, I'll talk to Storm pitching coach Dave Racich. He has another terrific pitching staff this season in Lake Elsinore, and there's good eating going on this summer at the Diamond. We head into the kitchen to look at minor league baseball's best menu. StormWatch starts right now. Well, welcome everybody to another edition of StormWatch. This month we are on the road with the Lake Elsinore Storm as we travel north to Rancho Cucamonga. I'm your host, Steve Quiss, and we're happy to have you at the Epicenter, which, by the way, used to be the former home of the Padres Class A affiliate. Now they're the home of the Angels Class A affiliate in the California League. In a moment, we're going to jump on board the Storm's motor coach and take the ride north on the road trip. But first, how about a little Storm team news? Storm closer Brad Brock recently became Lake Elsinore's all-time single saves leader when he picked up his 33rd save in late July. The old record held by Carlos Castillo, who at the time was an Angels farmhand. The one-time college starter converted 70 of his first 75 professional saves since joining the Padres organization. The Cal League record for saves in a season is 37, and if he stays healthy, Brock should blow right past that sometime in August.
There's a lot of good guys in this league, and there's been a lot of relievers that have come through, and that'd pretty big accomplishment if I was able to get that. So I'm looking forward to hopefully getting the opportunity to get that here in the next couple of weeks.
Right-hander Eric Davis is the Storm's first pitcher to win 10 games this season, although one came at an entirely different level. In just his third season of pro ball, the Stanford alum is closing in on 30 professional wins over his first 44 starts. Davis even got a taste of AAA when he was called up in mid-July to make a spot start for the Portland Beavers. Davis won that start going 5 innings where he allowed 2 runs and struck out 7. After a brief return to Elsinore, Davis has since been promoted to AA San Antonio.
I think he was ready. He has some doubts, but usually do. They kind of wonder if they can compete at the next level. They all want to, and then all of a sudden when it does happen, become a reality, it's like, God, am I ready? Sure, he was ready. He won 16 last year, he won 9 this year, he went to AAA, 10, 12 days ago and had a start and got the win in Las Vegas, which is a very tough place to pitch in, and showed that he can handle that.
And fellow starter Anthony Bass, who also took a turn in the Beavers' rotation for 1 game, started the month of August as the only Cal League starter with an ERA below 3. His 2.98 ERA over his first 20 starts of the season was far and away the league's lowest.
My arm feels great compared to last year. I mean, that's a big thing. My arm feels healthy. I feel strong. My velocity is a little bit up from last year at this point. So far, so good.
The Storm have a couple of players on their team with the last name Decker. One is Cody Decker. He's a UCLA guy, amongst the California League leaders in home runs as we play here in mid-August. The other is a kid out of high school by the name of Jeff Decker. Kind of got a unique spelling to his name. It's J-A-F-F. We'll get to that in a moment. I don't want to talk too loud because that's actually his grandparents over my left shoulder here to see him play in Rancho Cucamonga. He might remind Padre fans of ex-Padre Paul McAnulty. Certainly looks a lot like him. However, I'm told in high school and at least in the low minor leagues, he hits a lot like Tony Gwynn. A supplemental draft pick in 2008, then 18-year-old Jeff Decker from Peoria, Arizona, was the 42nd overall player taken. Less than 2 years after signing, this 20-year-old is now in high A ball.
I've played with older guys my whole life. When I was younger, I was always playing with guys 2, 3 years older than me, and then high school I played varsity as a freshman, and I've kind of gotten used to playing with older guys, and I've had a lot of older guys help me out. Blake Cody helped me out last year, and my freshman year I had a guy named Al Sogard. He's at NC State right now. He helped me a lot, growing up, being around older guys and knowing how to play the game the right way.
What he hasn't gotten used to is playing in pain. A hamstring injury cost him spring training and all of April. A stomach ailment cost him time in June.
Just now starting to get my timing back, hitting-wise.
The ability is certainly there. Despite hitting just 176 in his first 100 at-bats in the California League, Decker was on the fast track to becoming a polished professional hitter. He hit .352 in rookie ball and .299 last season at Fort Wayne.
Last week or two, I've started to really get back into the groove of playing every day and, getting my swings in.
Baseball America thinks highly enough of Decker's swing that they have rated him as the best hitter for average in all of minor league baseball.
That's kind of what I've always, wanted to do, is be a high average guy, high on base guy, and, if I get a couple home runs here and there, then I get it. And, my dad's always been the one guy I go back to if I have any struggles or anything.
His dad was his coach throughout his amateur development, but that changed sort of when he became a professional.
Every time he comes to a game, he sits, first section right on the on deck circle, and kind of whispers a couple things in my ear. But talk to him before and after every game. Tell him to relax and just go out and play the game. The game I love. And if I have a rough game, he usually knows exactly what I'm doing wrong, even if he's not here listening to the radio.
And finally, what about the odd spelling of Jeff? In this case, J-A-F-F.
My grandpa was based in Germany, and got a call that my uncle was getting born, and went in, signed a name, and he had to get out of there right away. And the nurse pronounced it Jaff because she's German, so she thought it was an A. And ever since then it's been J-A-F-F. So.
Just a side note to that story, Jeff told me he used to go to Padres games at Peoria all the time, and his favorite memory was one time snagging a home run ball away from his boyhood idol, took it right out of the glove of Tony Gwynn up on that grass berm there one time during a Padres spring training game. Time to welcome in Carlos Lascano, the skipper here of the Storm, and as we get deeper into the month of August now, Jeff Decker joined you, I think it was in May, and how's he progressing now? As Baseball America calls this kid having one of the best swings, best hitters in all of baseball, at least minor league baseball.
Well, he missed all spring training pretty much with a leg injury. Came here, obviously he started slow, getting his at-bats. It was just a matter of him getting his timing back and staying within himself, not trying to pull the ball and shorten down his swing a little bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of talent there, though, is there not?
But yeah, he's got talent. He's got a good arm. He's got a good swing. He's a 20-year-old kid, so he's still young. So he's got talent.
Cody Decker is the other Decker on your team that's really come out of nowhere. I mean, I know he's a power hitter at UCLA. As little as a year and a half ago in college, but I don't know if anyone would expect 20-plus home runs from the kid here in the California League.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. He's the kind of guy that he's got power. He's a hard-nosed kind of player at first base. If he doesn't catch it, he'll block it. So, he's putting on some good numbers, and we're working with him because we think he can still do better.
Right.
And he does too. So, but it's 20 home runs, 70 some RBIs. That's pretty good.
Tough. You guys had a little bit of a roster turnover. That always happens, Prospects get traded before July 31st, especially when your parent club, the Padres, are right there in the race. How has that been for you, having to kind of change up this roster just a bit?
It happens every year, so we just make the adjustments and go from there. And we got Brad Chuck here, and I was here last year, so he knows the kind of manager I am. So he's the leadoff kind of hitter with good speed. Pitching wise, our bullpen's done a great job since we had to cut down the innings on the pitches, but it's just a matter of adjustments, and then every day we come out here and do the best we can.
Yeah, we're talking to Anthony Bass here off camera, and he's building back up to 5 innings, but now a lot of those guys are only, your starters just go out there for 3 innings. I'm sure that's happened before, but it must make it difficult for you as a skipper to kind of keep all that in control.
Yeah, but it's they got a limit of pitches, so and we want them to pitch in the playoffs. We're already in the playoffs, so that combined with them pitching at least 2 starts in the playoffs, it's worth it. And then the last 2-3 starts, they'll be back to normal.
Yeah. Is it hard to balance development against, going out and winning a championship?
Well, yeah, you got to develop first. You can also work with them and teach them, how to win games. And that's a big part of it. And you can combine both, but you cannot get too much on one side or the other. You got to have a balance in between them.
All right, we appreciate the time. Carlos Lascano, everybody, manager of the Storm. Still to come on StormWatch, we take a ride with the Storm as they head out on a recent road trip. As you will soon find out, life on the road in minor league ball isn't very glamorous. What is glamorous is the folks you might find partying at the Diamond Club back in Lake Elsinore. Stay with us. Storm Watch continues right after this.